to One Man's Collection. Today I am looking at the 63rd issue of the Formula One car collection. This is the Lotus 72 from 1970, as driven by, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Jochen Rindt. But what we'll do is we'll take a look at this. I do have a 143 scale diecast car to go with this. We'll put that aside and have a closer look towards the end. So I'm going to go briefly through this magazine. I'm not going to read everything in detail. You will need to pause the video to read some of the articles if you really want to. Now the season here is 1970. Jochen, let's just say Rindt. Lotus 72, unique 1970 campaign culminated in the first and only posthumous world title awarded. Technical focuses on that car. The team is the Team Lotus. The circuit of this magazine is the Autodromo Hintertossia Zellweg, host of the Austrian Grand Prix, won by Lorenzo Bandini in 1964. And the story of Formula One is the 2012 Red Bull at the top again. This one, bittersweet record. 1970 campaign remains the only one in the World Championship history in which the title was awarded posthumously. Killed in an accident at Monza, Jochen Rindt wasn't able to celebrate the championship title he'd always dreamed of winning. Wow. So he actually won it after the year's end. Nobody was able to beat how many points he was up to, I guess. How about that? This is back in the day, though, 60s and 70s, where lots of drivers would die each year. It was very dangerous. So the Rindt alternated between his traditional jet green helmet with a white peak and a Bell all-white full helmet, which he kept free in the hope of attracting advertisers. Okay. Lotus 72, so Monaco, looks like a first. Holland first, France first, Britain first, Germany first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 0 points in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there must have been so much competition that year that his 5 wins actually won him the championship. He won it at Monaco, yeah. Very good. Brabham bows out at the end of the 1970 season. Age 44, Jack Brabham said goodbye to Formula One for good with 3 world titles under his belt. Soon after, he would also sell his team and retire to his native Australia. Still in good form, after 125 Grand Prix races, his final victory in South Africa had a plethora of other good performances that season. He was described by Francis Sievert as a driver still capable of pulling off some aerobatic moves out on track. Yeah, well, did very well. Moving on, technical focus. Got a cutout here. Got a rear longitudinal Ford Cosworth DFV 98 cylinder, 2.995, so just under 3 litre, 450 brake horsepower, 10,500 RPM. Much simpler days those days with the cars, in my opinion. Team Lotus taking centre stage. Excuse me. From 1966-69, the move to 3-litre engines wasn't exactly painless for Lotus, but the adoption of the Ford Cosworth DFE was the perfect solution to their woes, and it didn't stop Colin Chapman exploring new technical avenues. Moving on. As I said, I'm not going to read every single article. The first Austrian Grand Prix. It's an ex-military base turned racetrack. 3.199 meters, just under 3.2 meters, 3.2 kilometers. Longest straight of 1 kilometer. It's kind of got the similar shape to Monza original track, just without the extra curve, which I think actually got put in later, didn't it? Maximum speed about 300 kilometers an hour. Average lap time 1 minute 10. Not much. All right, story so far, get that out right, is Red Bull at the top again. Third title for Vettel. A spectacular recovery from Sebastian Vettel, who won 4 of the last 7 races, gave the German his 3rd world title, once again in the expense of Ferrari's Fernando Alonso, who lost out by just 3 points. Yep. And Kimi Raikkonen in 3rd, Lewis Hamilton in 4th, Jenson Button in 5th. In the Lotus Renault for Kimi, and in the McLaren Mercedes for Lewis and Jenson. Not that long ago, can't remember all that. Red Bull on 460 points, Ferrari on 400 points, and McLaren on 378. It's a lot closer those days. Yeah. Following 2 years spent in the World Rally Championship, Kimi Iceman Raikkonen returned to Formula One. Unlike many other returning champions over the years, he promptly showed his determination and speed, so much so that he finished the season in 3rd place overall. He was helped by having a Lotus with more competitive than any on the track for years. Yeah, cool. Coming up in the next 2 episodes, we've got the Stewart SF3 driven by Johnny Herbert, and the Benetton driven by Nelson Piquet from 1990. We'll show those ones off in the next few weeks. All right, have a look at the Diecast car. Team Lotus. Minimal sponsorship on these. British flag there. Got like a triple wing at the back. And probably an oil cooler, maybe a radiator, but I'd say it's more of an oil cooler. You see the trumpets underneath the back of the area there. It does have some air vents that suck it in the air. What are we running? Firestone tyres by the looks of it. Having a look at the front as well. Do have seatbelts like all of these, blue ones with silver buckles. I'm going to have to get a better light in there. Yep. For a cheap magazine car, these are actually pretty good. Underneath, not much on these. Do have the engine exhaust pipe stuff poking out in the Lotus 72C. Alright, put that one on a turntable so you can have a look without my hand being in the way. And I'll be back next week with another episode. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day. Cheers. Bye.